Okay, this time we are going to find the questionnaire that we need in order to measure, in order to get the data for the variable of the research that we want. That is, example, if we want satisfaction. Okay, so if we are going to find it in the internet, so we can use Google, for example. You will just type there questionnaire for questionnaire for satisfaction, and then you need to put there the .pdf, because if you put the .pdf, all the options given by the internet are all PDF file, meaning it's easy for you to download and use that or evaluate the questionnaire whenever you like to use that questionnaire. So in this case, you have here the given questionnaire, client satisfaction questionnaire, customer satisfaction survey. So it's up to you. So example, if you're going to click the client satisfaction questionnaire, and this is now the questionnaire. Okay. So if we read that from this source, we cannot see the author. However, we can only use a valid and reliable questionnaire for the client satisfaction when we know, or you know, the author of this source, as to when this was published. So you have to acknowledge the author. But in this case, we cannot see the author, but it is from the internet, no, as we have searched it from Google. So we can consider this as reliable for our example. However, in the questionnaire that you can find after searching in the internet, you have to ensure that that questionnaire was valid and reliable. You can read it in the manuscript or in the source as to the reliability level and test of validity. For now, we will just use this questionnaire. Okay, it's a client satisfaction questionnaire. You are given here the instruction. This questionnaire will help us to evaluate and continually improve the program we offer. We are interested in your honest opinions about the services you have received, whether they are positive or negative. Please answer all questions. In this case, you are told to encircle the response that best describes how the feeling, honestly. So we can choose 7 if you think the quality of service of your child is excellent, 6 if not, and so on. You can choose one, you can encircle. But there are also questionnaires in which these questions are in one column, and there are also rows or column that will tell you to check. It's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a 7-point scale. Okay, so in this case, it's in options here from 7 to 1. So we can use that as our question. So what you will do, if ever you really decided that these questions here will really measure the client satisfaction, then you can copy that. No, you can copy that here, and then you open Excel, and then in the Excel, you have to make the data bank. So in the first row, I have to make this larger. In the first column, rather, you can label that as respondents. And then if example that you in your study you have 30 respondents to answer your questionnaire, so you can put that here in number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth until 30. Okay, example until 30 there. So these numbers are the respondent numbers. Now in this case, since you are using the questionnaire, you copy that and then you paste it here, paste it there. So you can see that the question was reflected in this column title. So these are the questions itself are the column title. Now you can copy everything. You go back to that questionnaire, or if you don't like to search, then you can create your own. However, you still have to test the reliability and the validity. You conduct pilot tests, so it's a long process. So before you can use that questionnaire. Okay, so these are all the questions here. And then you completely copy that. So as I have here, I already copied that before, so I can just copy it here and transfer it to our sheet. Okay, paste. So as you notice, there are 13 questions here, and these are actually the 13 questions that we have. Why 13? Because there are only 13 questions with possible answers 7 to 1. All the rest are questions that are answerable in text or in words or in paragraph. Now, you are going back to the data bank you have. So as you notice, if you want to see the text of that question, so you can wrap text. So as you notice, it becomes like that. If you don't like, so you can still show like that. Now, in that case, if ever you responded number one, answered or encircle 7 for number one, 3 for number two, and then 6 for number three, you are going to input that here. So example 7, 6, then 3, and so on. So you completely encode here all the data. Example, these are the data based on the response of question respondent number one. Okay, example. So if you go to respondent number two, meaning another person rated this questionnaire, so you input the response. So example, the second respondent answered this. Okay, so you just input it here. No, you make a record of the response from the questionnaire. Okay, example. So assuming that you recorded everything, no, from the respondents of all respondents, then you can put it there. Example, we assume that these are the different responses of the different respondents by religiously or diligently inputting the data here in the data bank. Okay, these questions here actually measure the satisfaction, client satisfaction based on our downloaded questionnaire. However, if you want another variable, example, you want motivation, then you can have additional columns here. You just input or copy the motivation questions here. And then if you still have another questions, example for stress, then you can input here. You need to input there the same with as title column and so on and so forth. Just input the data in one sheet. Do not make one sheet, one variable in order that when you analyze the data, all the variables are there. You don't need to jump from one sheet to another. But in case in your study, in your research, there are profiles. Example, you want to know the profile of the respondent in terms of age. You can add column there. And then example in terms of gender. It depends on the profile being asked in your study. Example, if the age of respondent 1 is 33, you input a 33. Then the other is 40, 52, 33, 36, and so on and so forth. So you just encode that all in this data bank, and that's it. You simply transfer the data from the questionnaire to the Excel. And also gender, example, male and female. However, what is the problem if you input the data in words? If you input like male in capital letter and then the second is male in small letter, in the analysis, male is different from male in that case. So in order to avoid that error, you can code example male is 1, female is 2. So you can put 1 there, then female is 2. Example 1, 2, 1, 2. Example. Okay, so you can see that the coding here are actually the different gender, the male or the female. That's it. Okay, so if there are still other profile that you want to enter, so you can put it here. Example, what if in the questionnaire you ask whether the respondents are, example, if you want an answer yes or no, example they are, because you have here the age and the gender, example you want to know their status in terms of work status, example whether they are working or not. Work status, no. Actually you can have the work status as permanent or temporary or casual, but you can also have option if whether they are working or not. Working status. So if they are working, then you can put 1. Yes, if they are not, 0. So you can see 0 and 1 as code. Okay, so these are the responses. So you just complete that all here, and then that already completes the data bank from your questionnaire. Okay, I'm sorry. So what happened here? I am going to copy everything and put it here. I will not drag in order not. Okay, that's it. Okay. So that's it. That is how to make a data bank from your questionnaire and from the answers of your respondents. So imagine that all the responses are here so you can see all numbers. And this data bank is very important in the future analysis. Example, if you want to get the mean, the median, the mode, the variance, and so on and so forth. So that's how to find the questionnaire and then how to make a data bank out of that questionnaire, considering the profile and the Likert scale response. But in case there are questions like what you have in the questionnaire here, you still want to include this, example number 14. If you want this in your questionnaire, you just copy that and put it in your data bank. Okay, this is the 14, but the response here are in text. So whatever reflected in the questionnaire, example, I am happy because they are very kind and understanding. Okay. So that's everything reflected in the questionnaire as answer of that responded one will be reflected here word for words. So in order for you to, if in case you lost that questionnaire, you still have the data in this data bank. And that is very important so that you can analyze directly whatever or whenever you want in that data.